And what are your thoughts on digital comics and the role they play with tablets in today's connected audience?
Oh, well, I think that, digital is the future in all forms of entertainment. I mean, we're not going to be buying video games in a store. We're not going to be buying movies. It's all going to be through digital ports and, digital experience. And I think that's something that, comics are definitely moving towards. And the tablet really is kind of, the best way to translate that into a digital form. It's kind of like the iPod for comics, I like to say, which is kind of neat. I think that, there's definitely an audience that loves paper comics, and I think that the traditional book comic will be around for a good long while, but, we are starting to see generations be born that aren't going to be, in any way, looking at those kind of things in any kind of like they haven't grown up with it. I'm losing words here, so I don't know what I'm saying, but they're not going to like really respect it like the audience does now. So digital stuff will be more appealing to them, and I think that's when we'll see a big changeover. And digital comics opens up the audience in a big way. I think that there are more people that have an iPad and are buying content through their iPad than there are comic book stores in this country. And so I think that it's leading to wider acceptance of comics, and it's giving us a port to a wider selection of the population, which I think is good for everyone.
Now, the coolest thing about writing a zombie book is that everyone has different interpretations on how they work. Where did some of the influences of how the zombies hunt, find out what's living or alive, come from?
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, I'm trying to canonize, zombie lore. I think that too often people doing zombie stories try to reinvent the wheel. They come in and they go, they can jump really high, and they just eat brains. They don't eat flesh, or they shoot lasers out of their eyes. And, there's different things in every zombie movie. And so I tried to, pick and choose the best stuff. I mean, it's basically Romero zombies with, a little bit of things thrown in. And I like the fact that, people don't really know what to expect when they're reading a zombie story. It's almost like anything goes. And so every time we've revealed any kind of snippet in The Walking Dead, like, oh, they do this, or, this is something that, works on them or whatever, people are, to a certain extent surprised. And it's like, oh, I'm getting this big reveal. And it's cool that, zombies have been preserved in that, because you can't really do a vampire story and be like, oh, stakes work, and people think that's a reveal. It's like, yeah, we all know that coming into it, so that's kind of cool.
What are your thoughts on certain zombie characters that can mutate to different types of zombies? Resident Evil 6 has a big fat zombie, and Left 4 Dead had like a boomer and a smoker.
I think, while I don't do that kind of stuff in Walking Dead, I try to keep things a little bit more mundane, I like to say. Anything goes. I like running zombies. I like zombie monsters. I mean, I think that, Romero's evolving smart zombies in some of his later movies are really cool. I mean, expanding the genre and doing new things with the genre, I think is a really cool thing. So I'm definitely not a zombie purist when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I think anything, zombies that shoot rocks out of their mouths. Like, if you can make that cool, make it cool. Sounds silly to me, but, like, could be the coolest thing ever, depending on how you portray it. So I'm open to anything.
Now, since The Walking Dead, you've had your hands dipped in comics, video games, and television. Any chance we'll see a movie written by you soon?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who knows what the future holds? We'll see, maybe.